Guys, how goes it? Sorry, I'm a little late today. I've been pretty busy. I got my I got my nephew with me. I figured I'm gonna be sitting here waiting for my kids to get out of school, so I got some time. The video's gonna be uploaded late, but I am sticking to my word. I'm gonna upload a video today, and I've been thinking about what I'm gonna talk about. And something that I might have brought it up before, man. And it's definitely a subcategory of something I've talked about before. But I'm very passionate about it. I really believe that there's better ways to go around it. And the thing I want to talk to you guys about is, it's something we have no real control over, but it's something I think should be brought to the light with everything that's going on. And I feel like it could save the country a lot of money, and that incarceration, guys. I don't have the stats in front of me. I didn't do my research, to be honest with you. I've looked it up in the past, so I know that the amount of people we have incarcerated in the United States is far superior, and not superior in a good way, far superior than any other country. I feel like America is real quick to throw somebody in prison and forget about them. I think my nephew's pooping. I think America is real quick to throw people in prison, man. And I think the problem with that is you have people that are very salvageable, very good people, could do positive things for this world, and instead of working with them and putting in the effort, they would go and making sure they get punished, we just throw them in a fucking prison cell. And then you take somebody like, that got a DUI, and I'm not taking away from anything from a DUI, because DUIs are responsible for a lot of deaths each year. But you take somebody like has multiple DUIs or something like that, and you throw them in a prison. Well, they're not hardened criminals. They're just idiots. But when you take idiots and then you throw them in a prison where there are hardened criminals, some of those traits from that criminal are going to rub off on that dude. And again, I'm not saying that somebody that, drinks and drives all the time and got in trouble for it and, yada yada yada. I'm not saying that they're not criminals, but what is putting them in a prison do other than, like, think back to when you were a kid and you were put in a timeout. You were put in timeout. You had to go sit in your room for however long. I know everybody's experience with timeout is different, but you had to go sit in your room for timeout. Did you sit in there and think about what you did wrong, or did you think about the ways you're going to get away with it next time so you don't get caught? Imagine being put in timeout in your room with another kid. Say you got put in timeout because you took a cookie out of the cookie jar, right? So according to parenting, and parents tell you, hey, don't touch that cookie. I turn my back, you take a cookie. To me, that's borderline stealing. But again, there's ways to teach those kids, not to take the cookie. If I tell them, like, listen to what you're told to do. And you work with them. You don't just put them in that room and you leave them there for fucking days at a time. And you definitely don't put them in a room with another kid that just got in trouble for fucking setting the neighbor's cat on fire. You put a kid that just got caught taking a cookie in a room with a kid that's fucking setting animals on fire. Some of those traits from that kid that's doing the evil shit is going to rub off on the kid that maybe just made a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? So I think putting every person that gets some kind of offense in a prison is horrible. Look at the highways. Look at stores, man. There's all kinds of, charitable nonprofit charities. You could take one of those dudes that say that's what they got caught stealing, right? Putting them in a jail cell for even a week ain't going to accomplish anything other than just piss them off and maybe give them some kind of animosity, right? If we're going to piss them off and give them some kind of animosity, get something out of them. Get a product out of them, Have more community service hours, man. More community service hours. And I think if there's more consequences other than jail, I think the repeat offenders are going to be repeat offenders, whether you put them in jail or not. But if you take repeat offenders and get something out of them, get a product, you can make this world a better place with bad people. I hope I'm making sense. In my head, it makes sense. But I really feel like we are so quick to throw people in jail. And the reason I brought this up as a subcategory is because a huge portion of our prisons are filled with inmates that are in there for possession or trafficking of marijuana. And if marijuana is getting legalized nationwide, slowly, but if the country is figuring out that this drug isn't, there's consequences to everything. There's consequences to drinking beer. There's consequences to drinking fucking soda. And soda's sold on every shelf in every gas station, So, if there's minor consequences to smoking and it helps people, like there's positives, there's just as many positives about it as there are negatives. Why are we paying the money we pay on the prison system is fucking insane. Instead of us paying money to punish these people by putting them, giving them room and board and a fucking place to eat, why don't we punish them by making them go out and clean the highways, by making them go out and fucking clean the beaches for our wildlife, or get something out of them, man. And if anything, there's so many crazy things. You don't even have to punish them. Say you catch a dude doing something wrong, like, so you catch a guy out there and he's selling weed on the corner, right? You catch a guy selling weed on the corner. You arrest him, you do what you got to do as a cop, yada yada yada. No knock on the cop. I'm not saying cops are bad, but I'm saying you arrest him, you interrogate, and you find out that he has 2 kids at home, no wife, he's raising 2 kids, and he's a high school dropout, and he's finding ways to make money, and that's what he's doing. Now, you take that example right there. That guy's doing that, and this happens. This is real world shit. That person that does that shit, right? Think about the change you can make, and not just that one adult's life, but in those 2 kids' lives, in that environment, right? You're taking a drug dealer off the streets, and that's his only role, is doing that. Put him into something to teach him a trade. Give him a purpose. Give him a reason to stop doing that. Assist him in raising those 2 kids, so those 2 kids that come up don't follow his path because they feel like that's the only way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Give somebody a reason to stop doing the wrong thing. Other than consequences. I'm guilty of it myself when I'm parenting. I don't necessarily tell my kids, like, hey, if you clean your room, you can get this all the time. I do that sometimes, but I don't do it all the time. Generally, it's, hey, clean your room or I'm going to whoop your ass. And that a lot of this country, a lot of this world is like that. For response. Again, there's parents that's another subject. We won't touch that one. But give somebody a purpose to move on, to do better, to make an improvement in their community, man. And I really think if we can figure out a way to do that, because everything I just said is hypothetical. I don't have first person experience on 90% of this shit. But I really think that there's better ways to go about it, guys. And I'm sure you guys got some great things. And if you agree with what I said or disagree with what I said, or you got any kind of comment, let me know. Let me know down in the comments, man. And yeah, guys, I'll leave it kind of in a cliffhanger, man, because I think there's way better ways to deal with it. I do think there should be people in prisons, but I don't think it should be nearly, not 50% of what it is right now, guys. And I feel like there's better ways to go around setting rules and consequences. I think replacing a lot of consequences with rewards would benefit people a lot more, man. I really do. And you guys know I coach youth football. giving rewards to kids that are doing good instead of punishing the ones that are doing bad works more. It works better. It really does. There has to be consequences, but there doesn't have to be so many consequences, man. Give more rewards than consequences, you know? And I know that man, I feel there's better ways to go around it, man. And again, if you guys got something, you know, you got an idea, you agree, you disagree, whatever, let me know down in the comments, man. Shoot me a PM, whatever. And this is a discussion I would love to have. And if a politician would give me a sit down about this, man, I'll do all my research. I'll do all the studying. I'll look up, and I'll be a test bed. I'll be the one out there I'll walk the highways with him. I'll help pick up trash. I'll go teach a class about how to make fucking Twitch videos. I can't make money doing it, but I'll give somebody a trait, a reason to stop doing this shit, man. But yeah, guys, until next time, Arrivederci.